Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of the GAM tutorials. This part, as I mentioned, will not be about GAM itself. It's going to be about some small and quick introduction to the Windows command line interface because we'll need some base knowledge in order to work with GAM. So I've got few points to talk about in this video. The first one of those is what is CMD or the command line interface. Then how we can access the command line interface. After this, the remaining 5 points will be some tips and information that will help us in the coming videos as well. We'll take a look on how we can do basic text operations like copy and paste and selecting the text. Then we'll see how we can navigate between the directories in the command line interface. After this, we'll see how we can execute scripts such as .exe files or the batch files. And after this, I will show you how you can send the result of a script or a batch file to a text file. So it means like you pass the output results to a text file in the command line interface. This is very helpful and we're going to use this topic or this point a lot in GAM. And finally, just a quick tip also on how you can quickly access and edit text files while you are on the command line interface. So the first point really is just like a generic talk. I think every one of us knows what is command line interface. It's the command line interpreter for Windows operating systems. It's basically available on almost all of the Windows operating systems, and you can do a lot with the command line. Basically, you can do a lot of administrative tasks. You can do a lot of troubleshooting as well. You can also automate many things in Windows. You can just create the script or the batch file, and then you can set up a scheduled task, or you can keep it at hand to run it whenever you want, or save it as a startup script. There is a lot really you can do with command line or CMD.EXE. So in order to access the command line interface or CMD, basically you have only one way to do that, but there is a shortcut sort of I can show you now. So going to our server, the way to access the command line interface is through the start menu. You either click the start menu and find the name, which is CMD, or you can right click on it and you will be presented with the two options, either command prompt as the normal user or command prompt as the administrator if you have the UAC active. Or you can go to run also and type CMD and you will get the command line interface. However, there is another way which is much faster in case you wanted to access a specific location in your Windows. Let's say that we are in the C drive and, for example, inside the users folder, and you wanted to access the command line directly inside this folder, which is C users. All you have to do is you press the shift key and right click anywhere in the interface or anywhere in the Explorer window, and you will be presented with the same right click menu but with an extra option called open command window here. So if I do a right click without pressing the shift button, you will see that I don't have the option to open the command line. However, if I press the shift now and right click, you will see that I have got the option to open the command line window here. So when I click this, I will be taken directly to the same path that I have opened the CMD from. So that's not that complicated really, and I just wanted to point out this quick method because I'm also going to use it a lot when doing the GAM demos and samples. So moving next to our other point, which is basically the tips and the hints that I wanted to share with you about using the CMD or the command line. So first of all, basically the text operations, copy and paste and all of that, they might be a little bit different from the usual way or the normal way that we've used to do in the text editors, because when you type a text, for example anything here, and when you want to select it, we just select and drag and we'll be having the selection set. Then to copy, we'll do right click and all of these basic stuff. However, in the command line it might be a little bit different. So let's say that, let's type there. So let's say that I want to select this text that I have here and clicking on the interface basically does not do anything. So we'll have to right click and we'll have to select mark. Then we have to drag the selection on the whole area that we want to select. Of course, this is for Windows Server 2012 and Windows 8 and 8.1. Windows 10 has been changed a little bit, and I will show you now the selection process for Windows 10 and Windows Server 2016 and beyond. So you see that there are no lines or anything, it's free selection. So if you wanted to select a line, for example, you have to drag the selection marker to the whole area. If you want to select multiple lines, then you'll have to select the whole area for these multiple lines. If you want to select the whole view, then you'll just drag the selection on the whole area, and you don't care about the extra spaces at the end of the lines. I will show you what the result will be now. So after the selection, if you want to copy, you will press or you will click the right mouse button to do the copy process. You will not do the Control C. If you press Control C, nothing will happen basically. So I'm going to press Control C now. You'll see my selection is gone, and opening Notepad, you'll see that I don't have anything in the paste. So the selection is, we'll have to right click, select mark, and then select the area that we want to select or copy, right click, and then you'll see that we've got some text now in the Notepad. So as I mentioned, you do not care about the extra spaces at the end of each line, because you see now when we selected the selection, we've got administrator. However, admin is shorter than the administrator. So the result that we've got is, you see the administrator is trimmed, the admin line is trimmed at the end, and these two dots are trimmed at the end. So the selection process, even if it is appearing to be primitive or strange to do, however, the result will be as we expect always. We'll have complete lines selected without any extra spaces or anything at the end. So this is for the copy. However, the paste is something similar also. So let's say that I wanted to select this text and I want to paste it in the command line. So I will just do the normal copy process, and I'll go to the command line, and usually we do Control V or right click and paste. However, it's enough to do the right click and then paste will get the selection pasted. There is no Control V, so you see that I'm pressing Control V now and there is no Control V. So you can select all the text as well. If you have anything you want to find in here, you can do it as well. So whatever you want, whatever text that you want to find here, you can find it using the find option. However, before we move to the second point, which is the navigation and moving between directories, I want to point out that the space that you see in front of you here, it's called a buffer size. So it means that the buffer size will determine the number of lines that you will see in the command line interface. To access this setting and this number, you'll have to click the icon for the command line. Then you go to properties, and you will have to go then to the layout, and you will see the screen buffer size, where you can select or change the buffer size for the width and the height. The 300 means we have a 300 buffer size, so it means we can see 300 lines, or we will have 300 lines available for us in the command interface to scroll down or up. The width is basically the line length or width. So if we got some line that is longer than 80 characters, it will be spanned on multiple lines. You can change these values if you want, and you might be doing something like maybe 100 or something like this just to get extra details. However, this might consume a little bit of the memory. It might not be an issue for the new devices, but computers that have limited memory or RAM might appear to be getting more load or something like this. On this interface, you can change the fonts and the size of the interface. For example, you can select one of the pre-configured sizes here. So you see that the font size and the interface size as well is changing, and you want to keep it on the default. You can also change the way the selection or the edit work. So if you put a checkbox on quick edit mode, then you will be able to select and copy and paste without having to right click and choose the option, or without right click and choose mark or anything. So quick edit mode is good and useful, but for me personally, I don't like to use it at all, because sometimes I just want to click on the interface and scroll down and up, so I just don't want to see any selection on the command line interface. So next is the navigation. So you want to move to another directory, because let's say that the script that you want is not in the same directory that you have opened the command line in. So the way to do the navigation is by cd. Cd stands for change directory, so cd and then the directory name. So let's type the admin directory and let's click or press enter. Now we are inside the admin directory. Now if you want to see what directories are inside the admin on what are the content inside the current directory, you will have to type dir, which is directory, and you will see the content, whether they are files or folders or mix of both. You will see also the size of the directory, or I think this is the size of the whole drive. Then if you want to move to a subdirectory, you will simply type cd, then for example the desktop. It doesn't matter whether it's caps or whether it's case sensitive or not. The command line interface is not case sensitive, so it's the same if you type desktop with cap or small letters. So this is the desktop. Again, if you type dir, we'll see the stuff that are on the desktop. So let's say that you want to get back one level up to the previous folder. You note that these two dots in the beginning of the directory list, this means that the back or the up one level. So we type cd, then double dots, you will get back one level up. Again cd double dot, you will get back to the C users directory, then cd, that's it. So let's say that you want to go to a folder, let's for example inside the program files and then Google directory sync and blah blah blah. So instead of typing C program files and all of that, you can just type the path as one line and you will be taken directly to that. So just to make it easier, I'm going to go to the other folder. This folder is on the desktop and I want to go to this folder directly without going to the whole tree, because this is a very slow and painful process. So we'll have to type cd, then users, then slash, then admin, then slash, then desktop. If you press the tab, it will auto-complete for you. So then desktop, then other, OTH, then tab, it will complete to me the word. Once I press enter, I'll be inside the others folder. So let's say you are inside this other folder and you want to execute a script which is not necessarily in this same folder. Let's say that we want to execute the GCSync bat file, which is on the desktop. So the way to do this from the other folder, note that we are in the other folder. So the way to do this is we'll have to type double dot, which stands for the previous directory, slash, and then the script or batch name. So this one is called gcds-sync, and that's it. Once you press enter, the script will be executed and you will see the output. So there is something I've just also did quickly, which is listing the content of the parent directory. And as you've seen above, I typed dir, then double dot, and it listed the content of the previous directory. So the type of scripts and files that you can execute in the CMD, basically you can execute anything, but there is a note that if a file that is designed to only work in the command line interface, then it's better you execute it initially from the command line interface. It will work, it might work if you double click on it, but it's good that you execute it from the command line interface, just to keep the output preserved for this file after the execution ends for this file. So if you have a file, for example, that will read some information from you and then will process them and then show you the output, there is a chance that this file or this application or script, once it's done its job, the interface will just simply disappear and you will not be able to catch the output or the result of this file. So it's good that you open the command line interface and execute that script from inside the command line interface to keep the output preserved after the execution complete. So let's say now that you wanted to execute a script, but you do not want to see the output in the command line interface. You wanted to see the output, or you wanted to extract the output to a text file. So the way to do this, and I have one sample for you, so I will go to the downloads folder. So the way to do this is my script is called sample CMD. So sample CMD.bat. So if I click this one, it will show me two lines of output. Its first line is hello, the second line is world. So I don't want to see the output on this interface. I want to see the output in a text file. So the way to do this is I will type the script name again, and I will pipe it, or I will send it or pass it to the file that I will type its name now. So this sample is greater than. You will have to use it to pass the content or the output of a script to a text file, and the text file, the name can be whatever you want. So let's say, for example, script output.txt, or if you know that the output of this script will be as a CSV formatted, then you can type the extension as CSV. However, this is a text file for me, so I'll type text and I'll click enter or press enter, and the output has been passed to that text file. You see, I did not see anything on the screen. So this is the output file. Now I can simply open the Windows Explorer and go to the downloads folder and open this file and see the content. However, I want to talk about the final point here, which is editing or accessing text formatted files from the command line interface itself. And it's really very simple and very easy way. You will just type notepad, then the file name, which is script_output. You'll see that the file will be opened immediately with the notepad. You can this for any file that you have. Actually, you can even open the script itself. So we'll type notepad, then sample cmd.bat. You see that we are able to open the script file. You can do any changes for it, for example here, and then we'll save it. Then we can execute the script again, and let's make it something like 2. So again, if we see the contents now, we've got the second output file. So we'll type notepad, then the script output, and enter. You see now the 3 lines output here. Now this is a very quick row or a very quick method of outputting the contents of the script. Of course, when you have a batch file that is done to achieve a specific work or a specific method, then you will not see actually echoes in the script itself. You will not see like echo and all of these. You will see commands. These commands generate output. So the script or the line or the command that we will type here will stream these output lines to the text file or the CSV file that we want to define. This, as I said, we will use it a lot because in GAM there are many commands in this format. So GAM.EXE, then user, for example, and then email, and then, for example, print, then all, whatever. I'm just typing the rough and raw command for reports command. I think this syntax of command is wrong, but the idea is if we press enter now, I should get the report that I want, but it will be displayed on this screen, on this command line interface. It will be raw and I will not be able to read it, and it will be just like blocks of data and text and all of this. So I have an option to stream this output to a text file or a CSV file, because this the output of this command will be CSV formatted. So if I do the greater than or the greater than simple and type the file name, for example, all users report.csv, then the result of this command will be streamed to this text file that I have specified, and then I can open it with whatever sheet, Google Sheets or Excel or LibreOffice Calc or whatever application to handle the CSV files, and I can see the content formatted and well displayed for me, and then I can work on this report or file. So this is really a quick and simple set of hints and tips that will help us while we are using GAM. As I mentioned, this is not a command line tutorial, and the title, basically the title I chose is Command Line 101, but I think it's even less than Command Line 101, because I did not speak about a lot of the basics. I just spoke about whatever I wanted to use and whatever is required for us to go through the remaining videos of this series. There are a lot of guides and training for the command line interface, and I will be happy to share some of these links with you in the video description. I can find and search for some good tutorials on YouTube and other places, and I will put them in the video description for you, so you can get more idea and more details about the command line interface. Now, the command line for Windows 10 has been enhanced and got some new features on it. This is the command line for Windows 10 and also Windows Server 2016 and beyond. Before I show you the features, let's see the properties that we have. And you see that we've got some extra checkboxes here. The interesting checkboxes for us are the enable control key shortcuts and the enable line wrapping selection. So the meaning of these is, let's type some text, for example echo. So if you want to select these two lines, previously you've seen that we have to select the whole area around the lines or the text that you want to select. However, this time you only select the actual lines that you want to have. So see, we do not have to select the whole region of text. We span it to from the beginning of the line to the end of the line. So going to the notepad. This is the notepad, for example. So you see also you do not have any extra spaces or anything. So this is the selection, and for the paste, let's take a copy of this one. So for pasting the text in the command line of Windows 10, we previously also had to right click and then select paste. However, because of the new enhancements for the Windows 10 command line, we'll just click or press Ctrl V and we've got the text pasted. So let's say we want to copy this text now, and again we have to select it. Also we'll press Ctrl C and the text has been copied to our clipboard. So pasting again is Ctrl V and that's it. So in Windows 10 it's becoming a lot more easy and quicker to work with the command line interface. So this is it for this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any issue or any problem or any question, please put them in the comments. I will be happy to interact with you and to answer any question or anything that you want to discuss. Also, I would love, again, if you subscribe in this channel. It will help me a lot. I'm just getting started, so your subscription will help me a lot. One more thing I would like to bring to your attention about my G Suite Administrator course, which is a 10+ hours of content that is focused on the admin console only for the G Suite administrators, and it's basically for anyone. If you are an existing G Suite administrator or if you are newcomer to the G Suite and Google World, this course will help you a lot, and this course will give you all the details that you need to know in the admin console to be able to manage your G Suite domain. You will get a lot of information about user management, about group management, about the specific applications management, how you can control your email flow, how you can secure your Gmail and G Suite environment. I also talk about GAM also in that course, and I talk about the Chrome management and some advanced concepts as well, and the APIs. So I'm sure that you will enjoy it, and I'm sure that it will be very useful and beneficial for you. So please check it. I will put the link in the video description, and you should see it on the screen as well. There is a promotion on it, and you can get it for $10.99 instead of its original price, which is $59.99. If you start with the course, please leave your feedback to what you think about it so far, and the reviews will help me a lot in making the course visible and reaching to more users and administrators out there. So thank you very much again for watching. I hope this was informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.